Hi everybody, Kylausti, Matt Wenzel, MLive.com. Here still in Lansing ahead of the Thursday Holiday Bowl, recording before Matt Wenzel takes off for the sunny West Coast in San Diego. Lucky him, his Christmas present. But here to talk a little Michigan State, Washington State. And I've got 3 questions for him. I guess first of all, we'll start big picture before we go specific on the game. I mean, Michigan State, a lot of question marks coming in this year. They go 9-3. Is this anything more than kind of just a cherry on top? I mean, they've already kind of made the comeback. You know, this isn't a playoff game. It's not a New Year's Six bowl. I mean, how do you see this game? I guess in the big picture.
I think it's more of the cherry on top type of variety. I mean, win or lose, this game will not be what anybody is really. That's not going to be the big focus after the season. This isn't like 2015 where you go to the playoff and you lose to Alabama, and that just sits over you until you get back out.
Or the year before, Baylor. Everybody remembers that one.
Oh yeah, see exactly. And that game really didn't mean anything either. It was just, so I mean, I guess maybe it'll depend on how the game's played out. But I mean, it would give them a 10th win. It would mark the biggest single-season turnaround improvement in program history. They're at 6 games now, which ties them with a couple other years in the program. And 7 would be the biggest. I think it's symbolic having that 10th win. Double-digit victories. It would be 4 in the last 5 years, I believe. And it would be Mark D'Antonio's 100. So all that's kind of window dressing, I think.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think we can go 3-9 one year, especially a Big Ten team, to turn it around and be 10-3 the next year. It's significant. If
they were heading to a bowl at 6 wins or 7 wins, I think we could still say we're not sure they've really turned it around yet. Let me see the bowl, and there'd be that. But they could go out there and lose, you know, in my opinion, they could go out there and lose by double digits, and we would still say very clearly that Mark D'Antonio hasn't turned around. They're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because to me, the bowl has always kind of been a one-off. I think people sometimes put a little too much emphasis. I mean, you got the month off. You're playing teams from different conferences, so I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. It's, you know, they had a good season. They could go out with a big win. If they don't go out with a big win, I don't put a whole lot of stock in it personally. Yeah. Question number 2. Obviously, the most notable thing about Washington State is its offense, the air raid offense under Mike Leach. Really kind of the pioneer of these spread up-tempo offenses. Michigan State secondary has kind of had its moments this year. I mean, how ready is the secondary and the defense overall for an offense right now?
We'll find out.
Yeah,
I mean, early in the year they had one of the, I think through maybe about the first half a dozen games or so, they had one of the top-ranked pass defenses in the nation, both in yards allowed and efficiency. But you had to look at who they were facing at quarterback. Once you started to see them play established quarterbacks, like Thorson at Northwestern, Penn State's Trace McSorley. I mean, guys that have been there and they're established. Then they were kind of exposed. I think there were 3 games there where they got 3 out of 4 or something like that.
J.T. Barrett did pretty well.
Yeah, minus the 2 picks. Everything else was everything else he did worked. So yeah, I mean that'll be a real test. Washington State has a veteran quarterback, Luke Falk, a 5th-year senior. He's the Pac-12's all-time passing leader in basically every statistical category. So they will spread it out. They're going to go 4 wide, 5 wide, you know, no back, and just they're going to try and pick Michigan State apart. So we'll see both in the secondary and linebackers covering in space if they're ready for that challenge, and it'll depend on Michigan State's pass rush too, because I mean Washington State is they're number 2 in the nation in passing offense yards per game and second worst in rushing offense.
But they don't have a lot of balance.
No, not a lot of balance.
Yeah, you're gonna have to adjust your expectations a little bit because they could give up 35 points and have it be a pretty good day, I think, on offense. You know, because that's the type of scores they put up out there. But on the other side, Michigan State's offense, I think, is gonna get a lot of opportunities, and they could be one of their better teams. That's just the way things seem to go when you're playing those offenses. All right, question number 3. A lot of guys will be their last game. One guy maybe be their last game in L.J. Scott. First of all, do you think it'll be L.J.'s last game, and how does the whole group that's leaving, how do you kind of see this as the end of their legacy for them?
Well, let's start with the seniors. Seniors are the other guys. I think there's 12, but there's 15 total that I think it'll be their last game. I think, you know, obviously if you were to lose or you get blown out, that'd be obviously be a sting to end the year. But I think the overall takeaway is this is the team and the group, and they've talked about this, that will be remembered as the group that turned it around.
Right.
You know, if you were a senior on the 2016 team, I don't know how you feel about the way your career ended. I mean, you can say we went to the playoff, we won a Rose Bowl, we did this and that, but you also went out at 3-9, so that's tough. These seniors, I think, will be remembered for turning it around. Guys like Chris Fry, Brian Allen, Gerald Holmes. Gerald Holmes did not have anywhere close to the year he wanted to have. His numbers are pretty much the worst he's had in his career, but yet he was always positive locker room guy. Guy that's standing up there talking, whenever we're around, and the same can be said for Damian Terry, who barely saw the field. So these guys stayed the course. I think the leadership behind the scenes that we don't get to see was critical, and I think they will take that away. As far as guy who might not be back, LJ Scott. Will he go or not? I would say I would think he probably will, but that's just a gut feeling. Whether or not it's the best move for him, I don't know. That's the only he can determine that. And he had said weeks ago that he'd wait till the season got over, he'd go back, look at all the film, see where he was, and then evaluate, make his decision after that. I don't know. Just a gut feeling that I think this will be his last game. I
tend to agree with that gut feeling. I go all the way back to that tweet he had during the NFL Combine. I know maybe that was just an off thing, but that made me... His mindset seemed to be that he was a 3-year guy for a long time. And he certainly got the talent. And I think, I get fans that say, look at his numbers this year, why would he go? I think it's a little simplistic, to look at it that way. One, running backs have a very short shelf life.
Yep.
So I think when you can go, you go when you're a running back. You don't have that many years in the league. And number two, he's always had the talent. And I think if he can answer some questions from GMs as far as why his production wasn't there this year, if he can prove himself that he can take care of the football, I still think he could be a productive NFL running back. So we'll see. Nothing shocked me. I feel like I'm surprised as much as I'm not surprised when these decisions go.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it. Matt will be heading off to San Diego. I have a lot of content for you at mlive.com/Spartans, and thanks for watching.